The Dogon tribe, what did they say? That the Nomo came from another star named Sirius B and brought them advanced knowledge of the universe. They came from space to this planet and sat with these people and taught them about star systems, planetary alignments. They taught them about every single planet in our solar system, the shape, the size, the color, the orbital periods, the equatorial periods, everything going on within our solar system and beyond. They had this advanced knowledge and still have it till this very day. They have this special ritual called the Ziggy, where they put these masks on and they do these alignment rituals only when specific stars and planets are aligned in space. And they do this with no telescope. And they know about these orbital periods of trinary star systems with no telescope. By the way, Sirius B can't even be seen by the naked eye on a great night. Because it's a failed star, it ran out of fuel, it became a white dwarf. Just like our sun is going to become a white dwarf, which is the point I was trying to make. Our sun's going to expand and it's going to shrink to a white dwarf. They even knew how much mass was in the white dwarf. You see, just because the sun shrinks down, it doesn't lose its mass. What happens is the mass is compressed and condensed so that one spoonful, if you were able to take a spoon and take a spoonful of the mass of a white dwarf, every human being on the planet together couldn't lift it. The Dogon tribe know this. They've made that exact statement. So they understand astrophysics on a level that we had to discover much, much, much later than them. But they knew this 7,000 years ago.
It's just different.
I am the world changer, coded by the blue storm. My number is 19, the power of all number. I am the master alchemist, the force behind the philosopher's stone. Skilled at the art of transmutation. I am the catalytic transformer of world consciousness and planetary living. I oversee the changes of the weather. I am the thunder that shatters your world systems. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies, It was I who caused the triple Aztec monuments of the Avatar archetype to appear in the ancient temple grounds. I oversee the morning and the evening stars. I behold the creator of the fifth sun, the present world. Sent forth am I to dwell among you, calling forth the sixth sun. For the great regeneration of the world's soul, to know me is to know your own power of self-generation. To know me is to know your own power of self-generation. Self-generation is power. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies.
All right. Greetings, everyone, all the watchers and listeners. You are truly in for a treat today. We're going to be talking about our telepathic meditation series. And so what does that mean to consciousness? What does that mean to the human psyche? What does that mean to you advancing? What does that mean to you prospering financially, prospering in your health, prospering in your relationships? My name is Neb Teharka Kanishkawak, and I have the distinct honor and pleasure of sharing some evolutionary knowledge with you that can help you to evolve with the times. You'll hear me talk a lot about the fact that we are shifting and have shifted from the information age of our existence into the telepathic age of our being. And so it is a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be able to talk about some of the dynamics where this shift is taking place. But more importantly, what does it look like for those of us that are seeking to advance and evolve in ways that we may have not thought we could actually do? Okay, so I'm very excited about the information and what we have in place. And I want to welcome each and every one of you. And feel free to share this link with like-minded people. We'll only be here for a short period of time. But what we've done is we've started our telepathic meditation series in something we call the future portals of infinite memory. And a lot of the gifts and the talents and the abilities that we have that's beyond what we can physically do is somewhere in our memory field. And as we tap into that memory field, we can reach higher states of consciousness and realize a new self-image and operate with that energy in the body and have a more dynamic experience than you could ever even think of. So I am delighted to be here, to be able to share some incredible knowledge with you that was shared with me a few short years ago. I want to start with the prayer of the 7 galactic directions, just to get us into a vibrational alignment, and then we're going to get started with this phenomenal treat that we have. So I'll start with the prayer. From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. And from the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum Hunaku Eva Maya E Maho. Ayum Unaku Eva Maya E Maho. Ayum Unaku Eva Maya E Maho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. All right. So it gives me great pleasure to be here. I am so excited about this knowledge and this knowledge stream that we are experiencing. This is a special edition of our synchronistic talk. And this is the telepathic meditation series, the TMS. You know, we got TMI, the TMI network, too much information, because we're shifting from the information age into the telepathic age of our experience. And in being able to do so, we're able to see what aspects of the mind that we can tap into that we're not already accessing. Scientists say that we have over 100 million years of memory stored in our brain, in our cerebellum. And so as a result of that, that means that we have the opportunity, but not the obligation, to reach into those memories and see how it supersedes the programs and the habits and the dispositions that we have from negative traumas and things of that nature, to overwrite that program and create a new program based on synchronicity and evolving versus programming and expiring and limitation. So I am extremely excited about just the whole idea of those individuals that are similar to myself that say, wait a minute, how can I? That's a great question. Anytime you say, how can I? You're empowering the brain to come up with some answers. How can I become more telepathic in my experience, more dynamic? And a lot of people, a lot of times, they actually don't know the value of telepathy. But if we use artificial intelligence, we know that if we're on the phone, that's like having a telepathic experience. We're communicating on a cell phone. You know, teleportation. If we wanted to teleport, there's no need to teleport. We can just get on a plane and do it. But what happens when all of the regular technologies start to fail? That based on the activity of our sun and different things like that, at some point could take out the grid, the different conflicts, the cyber attacks can cause us to have to communicate a lot differently and not even know it. Okay. So with that being the case, I want to really tap into a couple of things. First, I want to start with this vision statement. Our vision statement is to transcend our minds, go beyond our minds, deep into our cosmic memory circuits as we awaken from a deep state of amnesia in order to move from the information age into the telepathic age of our existence and establish a new world of highly telepathic beings. Why not? Why not access that? The closest thing that I've seen, and one of the reasons why we started our school, the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment, is I remember seeing that movie Lucy. And when I started studying this 9 years ago, I said, this is the science behind how Lucy was able to operate at different levels of consciousness. There was a 10% level where she is operating at 10% of her brain, 20% of her brain power consciously. Right? Scientists say we only use 10% of our brain power consciously. Dolphins use 20%, but they have more of a telepathic sonar type mind. 30%, 40%. And so one of the key things that I think is extremely important is that although scientists are quick to tell us that we only using consciously 10% of our brain, nobody is standing in line to give us access and instructions on how to access the other 90. So a lot of what we talk about and teach is about methodologies and activities on how to access that 90. Similar to if you only got 10% of your check after working 100% of the hours, all right, you're going to say, where's my other 90%? Or it's going to be a big problem. Yes? Well, look at it like that for your mind power and far beyond. Because now we need to upgrade from the money paradigm into the abundance paradigm. Ashe? All right. Whoever owns your time, owns your mind. Change your time and change your mind. Here's something else. Change your mind and you change your entire world and beingness. All right. We follow the 13 moon calendar, and this helps us to disrupt systemic programming. You see the equation T times E equals R. Time times energy equals R. Energy factored by time is R. So what is time from a fourth dimensional perspective? Well, from my perspective, time is the evolution of consciousness. And as consciousness evolves, what is created in that process? And so this concept made me say, I'm going to make evolution my number one priority, because if I can evolve my consciousness as time, then I can override and overcome any circumstance that comes my way. All right. And so we've been taught to synchronize these cosmic cycles. We start with the 13 moon calendar. But some people say, well, why would you follow a 13 moon calendar? I'll give you very good reason why. Because the moon has 13 cycles a year, not 12. So we're following a fallacious calendar, and more people are talking about it. It's the most subtle thing, but it's one of the heaviest programming agents. Another cycle that we follow is the 260-day cycle. This is the gestation period of a human, right? And it's the mark of what it took to get from inception into incarnation. And so as we incarnate from this perspective, we incarnate through one of the 260 expressions of the Creator that we call a kin, a galactic kin. With the galactic kin comes what? A galactic purpose. Let me tell you what I found out. With the galactic purpose, it made my earthly destiny a lot easier to focus on. So we have shifted from the information age into the telepathic age of our existence. A lot of people are this is gonna go right over their head. And right now, it's only a few people that this is gonna make sense to. This is gonna be a few right now, and then the masses will come later. But the few people that get it, they're gonna realize that they no longer can use information age concepts in the new time, in the new age of telepathy. And that this makes everything quicker, everything faster, success faster, failure faster, different type of results that you want faster. Okay. Now I want to talk to you about what we are doing in our telepathic meditation series, and we're focusing on precognition. And with precognition, we had our first meditation today at 4:30 in the dawning, and this past strong end, some people call it weekend, right? Saturday and Sunday, we had 2 workshops that were phenomenal to prepare us to go into this meditative series. Those of you who are not participatory in this, you have an opportunity to participate with us. We have 5 more left, so you can participate with us early in the dawning and experience this advancement. So let's look at it. Precognition means before. Pre means before. Cognition means knowing. So just to give you an example, a person watches a scene sometimes in a dream or in a daydream, which later matches an actual event. You say, ooh, depending on the event, ooh, that's deep, right? Now, to be credible, what we teach is the person needs to be able to write down the daydream or the dream immediately prior to the actual event in a journal or a voice note of some sort that's time-stamped. And then you can see how well your power of precognition is unfolding. So can we, based on that knowledge, predict the future? All right. Now, in our telepathic series, when we study the law of time, right, we start with the 13 moon calendar to disrupt false time, right? Then we come into the law of time where we focus on the 260-day cycle to get our galactic purpose, right? And then there's another aspect that opens us up. One focuses on the left hemisphere, the 13 moon calendar. The right hemisphere is the 260-day calendar we call the Tzolk'in, and it opens up the 1,000-petal lotus, the crown chakra, the mind, to now receive whole mind concepts. We call it the hollow mind perceiver. That now when this opens up, you're able to perceive with the whole mind and not just the limited mind that we were programmed to use for the sake of this matrix or the systems or the jobs that we have. That's a very limited version of what we offer as ourselves, the power of God in us. So the question becomes, can we predict the future? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know why we can predict the future? Because we're creating it. We're creating it. Our experience from this perspective is a holographic projection of mind. So whose mind is projecting out for you to realize your reality? And it's a reflection of what's in your heart. And so from this perspective, if we have a change of heart and a change of mind, we can change the projection. So now we can use precognitive exercises, just like anything else, like remote viewing or retrocognition or just mind-to-mind telepathy. We can use exercises and practice predicting the future at different points. We just did something today in our meditation to do that early this dawning. And it was incredible. And I got a few people online that are going to talk about what their experience is so that you can see, is this something that's going to take place? And I'm telling you, this is going to catch like wildfire. It's going to create a movement, because what we realize is that we don't need anybody governing our mental, right? These different empires are collapsing. Currency systems are collapsing. So now what are we supposed to do to take charge of our reality? Well, first we got to know who we really are in this process and know the economy that we're working on. We're working on the cosmic economy, not the US or world economy. And because of that, we're always going to be able to access the abundance of any system. All right. And so with this today, out of the 260 expressions of the creator is Ken 148, or the 148th expression, in the form of the yellow overtone star. Let's see what it says in terms of the affirmation. The affirmation states, I empower in order to beautify, commanding art. I seal the store of elegance with the overtone tone of radiance. I am guided by the power of intelligence. Now, that's very different than it's Monday. They say people have more heart attacks on Monday than any other day. We say this 3 times to imprint it in our mind and our hearts and radiate it out into the cosmos. I empower in order to beautify, commanding art. I seal the store of elegance with the overtone tone of radiance. I'm guided by the power of intelligence. One more time to lock it in. I empower in order to beautify, commanding art. I seal the store of elegance with the overtone tone of radiance, and I am guided by the power of intelligence. And I am a galactic activation portal in order to beautify, commanding art, the store of elegance, radiance, and the power of intelligence enter me. Now, when you look at that statement, when you say I am, or I do something, I empower, I gain power from myself to what? To make better, to beautify. And as I make things better, I get to command my creations to come alive. In fact, art is the first act of love. It's an expression of love. I seal the store of remembrance for elegance. Remember the elegance. It's like a cosmic swag with the overtone tone of radiance, passion that you walk in with the atmosphere, enthusiasm about what you're creating and what your purpose is in life. And I'm guided by the power of intelligence. That's the energy that's guiding us through this particular cosmology today. And as I say that, I immediately all day I've been working on, man, I'm loving it. What can I make better? What can I beautify? What kind of art can I create? What can I create that's new? What kind of methodology, system? What kind of painting, right? And so that's just where we are. All right. I want to also read this, and then we're going to have a few testimonials from people who are on this dawning and in some of the workshop and see what they got to say about this. But I'm going to read to you this about the artist. It says, I am the artist coded by the yellow star. 8 is the number that opens my gate. Resonant frequencies are my palette to harmonize according to the deepest impulses of the universe. Dare to be beautiful. I am the elegance of enlightenment. Through my art, I color your world. I am the rainbow in the day, and the moon glow in your night. I am the artist. Everything I do originates from the stars. Star being, star child, star singer is my name. I am the galactic chord resounding from the cosmic key. I invent the songs and recite the crystal oath that travels the infinite Zavuya. The wonders of ever-expanding harmonics. To know me is to know the endless song back to the master artist of all creation. Whew. I felt that. I felt that, right? So let's go ahead and have some testimonials really quickly. And before we bring them up, I want to go ahead and bring them up now. All right, the first person that I'm going to bring up is Bill from West Virginia, who's been plugging in with us for several years now, actually. And it just really an incredible person. He actually has a gift. He plays the flute So sometimes he plays this harmonious flute. It just puts us in a very special place. And I love being able to hear Bill play his flute, but he showed so much enthusiasm as we continue to talk about this particular segment and series. So I'm going to bring Bill up to say a few words. What we got going on? There we go.
Okay, can you hear me?
The mic, brother. We can hear you clearly.
Great. Greetings, everyone. I just wanted to start off saying how transforming, the sessions are that we experienced this morning. It's just mind-boggling. It's basically in approaching life, approaching understanding from a galactic point of view. That's an expanded point of view. Normally, we look at life simply from, our understanding, what we was taught in school, what we learned. Yeah, what we learned in school, what we learned for our job. So our sort of expanding our mind is mainly to address those things. But once, we sort of expand who we are and what we're trying to achieve in life, like working with the galactic mind, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother paradigm. And it's very enlightening. Very opens up a lot. I've been working with this for a while. The law of time and the teachings, different things. It's been a journey for me. And it's been, up and down. First learning, being able to understand certain things and move forward. I got to the point where I was studying and all of a sudden things just, shut down. I couldn't quite comprehend everything. And I did not have anybody to sort of turn to get information from. Oh man, what is this? How can I interpret this? How can I interpret that? I did not have anybody to do that. I was relying solely on my reading and trying to comprehend things. But then I guess I just wanted to say how fortunate, you are to be able to listen to what my brother here, Neb Teharka, is doing. He's teaching. He knows, he's tapped in. Anybody that wants to understand these concepts from deeply and really move forward and change, direction that we're going and hoping to make the world a better place. What's our real destiny? Why am I here? You know what I'm saying? I think we've been working from a perspective of I'm here to, again, raise my family, to get a good job. But when this comes to what is my role in making the world a better place? How can I participate in that process? That's what this work is about, the law of time. And I just, again, think that we're very fortunate to have Brother Neb Teharka to be able to interpret those things. The brothers don't point. The brothers don't point. It's no joke whatsoever. I really, a lot of respect and admiration for his work and his dedication and his work, dedication in doing this, and making these reaching out in different ways to hopefully reach people to understand from a deeper level. So that's my sort of give on it. I really appreciate thinking that you're human. It's really been a big part of my life and on my spiritual path. And I yield the mic.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, Brother Bill, for sharing. Ken 65 for sharing your experience. We truly appreciate you. And we continue to look forward to evolve together. The next person that we're going to have is more newer to the experience. We taking you from one side to the next. I just had the pleasure of meeting this individual just in September at the Mystic Fair, and just her energy was so even keel, and just you could tell that she was a deep thinker. And as we got to start talking about this, she became really intrigued by this knowledge, and I've just seen her get so deep into it and have so many wonderful things to say. So I'm going to bring the next person. I'm going to bring is Ken 134. Tatiana out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Peace.
What's going on, ladies?
Hey, everyone. How y'all feeling this evening? Good evening. Yes, I'm
Yes,
K134, Tatiana, also known as White Wizard. It's so funny because you literally took part of what I was going to say, and this continues to happen. This is where the synchronicities keep showing up, y'all, and it's undeniable. So yes, it's just so funny how we met. But it's even funnier because I personally had prayed to be connected with the master teacher, and then the blue storm had came. So it's just one of those things you just never know. But we're here to really talk about the portals. And, you know, one of the things that brought me into the portals was just being embraced by the community of the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. And that's what encouraged me the most. So if I could just kind of talk a little bit briefly about my experience, I'm going to definitely talk about the portals, but I do want to just say, like, every person who I've been able to connect with through the community has been just a representative. Anybody who's been a representative through Neb Teharka's coaching or his guidance as an educator, they just displayed unparalleled level of authenticity, and that just brought an embrace to me. They just had this like expression of love and humility, and they were just so smart. They were just so damn smart. I was like, okay, I need to be a part of this. I just felt it in my heart, and I really felt welcomed, and really he's divinely gifted in his approach. I mean, I might be just in my own experience, but really it's like he has something to reach every and anyone in their experiences because he has gone through so much. And then even with this knowledge, he's still continuing to learn. So there's a humbling essence to it when it comes to like me learning and then being like, we're in this together. I am you, you are another me. So like he said, I came into this knowledge in September and I decided to do trial by fire, and he couldn't get rid of me because I was so dedicated to my evolution. And like people around me probably think I'm a little crazy, but I've already been on the spiritual journey. So this is just like me jumping on the asteroid belt and just riding the wave, you know? So yeah, I'm really grateful for how it's opened up my mind and allowed me to access and challenge these artificial programs and access the telepathy that we've been talking about, because we're in the quickening right now. Like things are happening. Manifestations are happening quicker than before. I've experienced it. I've talked to other people who are like, girl, you need to do this, like scripting all of it. And it's like, you know, we've seen it in the past, but now we're actually living it in the now. So my experience in the portals, the Alpha and Omega runs, I've had the great privilege to participate previously in the past portals where it really allowed me to unravel my shadow self. And I wasn't ready for that. You know, you might, I'm not even gonna lie, you might have some experiences that you were not prepared for, but you're gonna have to meet yourself there. And I had to surrender to my true self, which was the first day. That was the first affirmation of the past portals. And then we just started the future portals 3 days ago. So this is the third and the first day that we met at 441. So I was committed. But, you know, activating opportunities in the new time. And it's for me today has been like time to sow some new seeds from a healed perspective after having that opportunity to face my shadow. And I've really felt so encouraged. It's expanded my thinking. I've challenged myself through deeper meditation practices that I've never been exposed to, like synchrogalactic yoga. I was like, what is this? What are we doing? I'm accessing these chakras, and like I had my own method. And then it was like, no, but you need to try this. And I was like, okay, let me just do what is going on. Let me just go along, you know. So I've been really humbled, and it's allowed me to heal parts of my heart that I didn't think I was going to be able to access. And it took me years to embrace. I've had a very dark time actually before meeting Neb Teharka, who I call Profe. And in my time of like going through my own spiritual journey, that's when I wrote I wrote it down. Like, I want to be the master teacher. If I had my book next to me, I would show y'all, like, I wrote it down. And so when I met him, I was like, this is unreal. You know, it's allowed me to change my speech, the way I think of myself. And I'm still learning, and I'm still giving myself that compassion. I'm actually guided, and my kin is guided by the white dog, which is the compassionate one. It's allowed me to embrace that peace and inner joy in myself, and my relationships have benefited as a result. And yeah, I'm just, you know, I felt so supported through those darker times, to bringing me to the light, to know that who I am, and you know, just been measuring my patterns and observing those synchronicities. When I tell you, the portals and the moons, ever since the deer moon, I have seen each totem, like, in nature, whether it was a deer, whether it was an owl. I saw a peacock. I didn't see a peacock in nature, but during Thanksgiving / Indigenous Day dinner, there was a peacock little drawing on my friend's fridge. And I was like, I knew I was going to see a peacock. I said it to myself. I was like, where's the peacock going to be? Because I cannot see it in nature. So, you know, just one of those things that you least expect. But I want to share this with y'all. Today, we had some reflections, and the question of this moon and the question of the actual plasma is, you know, how can I best empower myself? And a Profe yesterday was like encouraging us through the portals to ask ourselves that when we wake and when we rise. And so I just want to share what I said, and then I want to share with y'all, because I actually did something for the artist, and I was like, I'm so proud of myself, because I don't typically do these things. So I said I can best empower myself by embodying the I am, not denying my essence from accessing the highest and best. That doesn't mean checking every box. It's moving with the knowing of all that I am being, sitting in the love energy, being an open receiver, and being in service to my highest self, and moving as the embodiment of I am, and not waiting for the person, place, or thing to show up, because I'm here to be in service and also, you know, embody the creator in me. So I don't want to betray my art. I just wanted to create art and be in self-integrity. And so not to invite doubt, and doubt can't sit with me. And yeah, so I decided to draw earlier for the artist. I was like, you know, I gotta wake the artist up in me. And so we had a meditation, and it was like, what do you see? And what I was actually seeing is water. So this is my first page on my sketchbook, but I started, you can't see everything, but I started I forgot I had the blur on, but I started to draw, and I got inspiration from Faith Ringel, from her Tar Beach, and I had myself flying above the water in the mountains, and I drew this from scratch. So yeah, I'm like, you know, it's the time to finish better than I started. And so yeah, I just want to say thank you, and I hope that anyone who's been thinking about it, that you actually just take the step and, you know, do. So thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for sharing all that with us. I didn't know you were going to say all that. And so it's so powerful when you empower yourself. I mean, just asking, you know, the moon asks us, hey, how can I best empower myself? How simple is that? Can everybody do that that's listening? When you wake up in the dawning, ask yourself, how can I best empower myself? You got all day to get the answers. And then when you get the answers and the instructions, all you got to do is follow them. And you're going to find yourself having more power to do the things that you really want to do versus what you have to do. Have tos create stress. You know, want tos create paradise. So thank you, Kid 134, for all your zeal, all your share. We love you, we appreciate you, and we look forward to your continuing evolutionary process and witnessing it as well. Thank you. All right. Next, we're going to have another testimony. This is great. I could do this, you know, all night. We're not going to keep you so long, but next I'm going to have trying to stagger things a little bit with this male-female energy, this divine feminine, divine masculine energy. And I want to bring up Brother DX, because Brother DX, he has so much energy. He's so powerful. He's so seasoned, um, and so talented as an artist. And I just had a conversation with him earlier today, and he just gets me pumped up. He really does. It's just his enthusiasm, and I think his enthusiasm is going to catch fire to you as well. So he's just been around not too long. He's not new to consciousness, but we just met back in the summer on the day out of time, and we just hit it off then. And every time we talk, it feels like we're so connected. So I want to go ahead and bring forward to talk a little bit about the telepathy that we're talking about, the meditation series, the portals, and some of his experiences thus far. Brother DX, I yield the mic
Yeah.
to my brother.
Hotep. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. All the wonderful greetings that we can greet each other. And happy to my Ken family. I mean, very, very elated to be here. And thank you so much, Ken, for the invite. My testimony, man, like my synchronicity, the synchronicity of coming into this is just the most amazing thing for me. Even coming in on the day out of time. Like for me, that was the start of everything. Just coming in at that moment in the beginning of the moon cycles and comprehending them, just coming in already. I was kind of in sync with the 13 moon calendar, but I had no idea. Oh my God. The hollow mind receiver just like acknowledged what kind of for me, what we already knew is just a confirmation of what that is. What are you experiencing right now in life? And how does this relate to your purpose, like to your being? And and just for me, I've had several, like my whole life experience has been one big cosmic journey. I know I'm a traveler. I know I have certain gifts that are being utilized for me. And knowing that in this fashion is like, thank you. Is this a confirmation to even to the sense of when we're speaking on um like telepathic energy. And the sister was speaking earlier about seeing your totems on the days when you have a certain mantra, a certain kin, and it's like I see the white dog. I get the blue hand. My daughter, she was coloring and painting with some markers, and on the blue hand day, she come in there like, Daddy, look. Like, what? You got one blue hand? Like, okay. And then I'm at the park another day, and this big white dog runs up on me. It was a whole bunch with that. And like each day that I'm paying it, and when you pay attention, you can see how nature and how the universe is so much in our favor. Like regardless of the situations. Like I'm Ken 49. Ken 49, I'm a planetary moon, a red planetary moon. And I I, I purify in order to perfect. Like that's what I do. Like you need to be pure around me so you could be right. Most of the people that know me on a very, on a close, serious level, I have Dr. Vegan Inc. So, part of my path is healing and that cleansing aspect. I produce water. I'm a universal water energy. And at the same time, I seal the power of universal waters with the planetary tone of manifestation, and I am guided by navigation. This is all a part of like your sensory perception and your thought into the universe, into like your cosmic space around you. Even how we are aware of the etymology of words, knowing how we change the definition of how we're existing in our plasmic life. It's a plasmic life, like we're in substance, and this substance has a resignation that vibrates back to us with everything that we do and how we think. So this hollow mind receiver, like for me, it just connected me to another part of source. Like it's a divine walk. And I think the only con that I would kind of put in, I think, and I had mentioned this to Neb, like um having a little bit more social structure outside of just, you know, the synchronicity conversations and talks, but having somebody. And I think the gentleman earlier, Phil, kind of elated to that some of these journeys you kind of out there by yourself, you're figuring it out. You don't really have a conversation with people that can resonate with what you're saying. You spend more time kind of explaining it than having a, a like a reciprocal conversation with someone where they are receiving information that they know, and then iron sharpens iron. So that's all I want to say. And I just thank everyone for just coming on board. And we get all these cans together, and there's many faces, and they're all beautiful, and there's so many wonderful people and personalities. I'm resonating with it, and thank y'all so much. I yield the mic. One love.
One love, my brother DX. I can't nobody drum like him. I'm telling you, he can do it. He got some skills. He is a true artist, and I just give thanks for him and just really being able. What reason why we having this conversation, for those of you that are. This is part of our telepathic meditation series. And 2 years ago, we started a telepathic group called the Telepathic Remembrance Group. And in those classes, we focused heavily on emotional intelligence first, and then so we went through a conditioning process, and then we started practicing remote viewing, what we call retrocognition, where we go into the past, precognition, where we predict the future, we can see visions of the future, and then mind-to-mind telepathy. And we've gone through several things in our experience. Last year, one of the biggest projects we had was correcting the error in time. When they started the Gregorian calendar, we realized that they skipped the first 10 days in an effort to correct the leap years of the Julian calendar. But as we reconstructed the calendars or the synchronometers that we follow, we saw how that blocked out some consciousness, and that moved forward for hundreds of years, over 441 years, for us to have to be a limited version of ourselves. So as we corrected that, let me tell you, so many things opened up, and year 441 really has positioned us to move officially from information age concepts to being informed, to being out of form and telepathic. Okay. And so there's a whole science, there's a whole synchronic order to follow to be able to tap into those codes into your mind and experience that in this reality. It's so powerful. And so what Brother DX was talking about was the hollow mind perceiver, and it shows you how to access extrasensory perception, part of your mind, as well as the telepathic being that we are. It's just dormant. We're on a journey of remembrance. So thank you, Brother DX, for that wonderful share. And we continue to vibe and do what we do to not only evolve ourselves, but help others do the same. I appreciate you, brother. Peace. All right. Next, we're going to bring to the forefront none other than Priestess Habibullah Kin number 178. This is a powerhouse. She's been with us for a few years now, but she does everything from event planning to she has so many business. She's such a business mind, melanated bloodlines, free reality. I mean, she's just dynamic, and she helps out with so many things. But I was talking to her earlier, and she was so excited about what we were talking about and how it was advancing her. I said, you know what? I would love to get you on tonight to just talk a little bit about somebody out there that's listening, whether it's IG, Facebook, YouTube, or that's on our StreamYard link, is wanting to advance, they want to evolve, but they just don't know if it's real. So I'm going to turn it over to you to share your experience with what's going on, your excitement with our meditation this dawning and the workshops we had this strong in. We call it strong in, other people call it weekend. And so I'll let you share about that. Priestess Habibullah, kid number 178.
Give thanks, give thanks. I am being heard, right? Oh, yes, I am Priestess Mut Ma'at Nefer Habibullah, Kin 178, the white solar mirror. And I'm proud to be just that because I pulse, I live in order to reflect, realizing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the solar tone of intention. I am guided by the power of timelessness. All right. So for that, between my purpose and Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment coming into my life, evolving my whole mind, my whole being. I was one of those people in the beginning who I was like, what in the world? Where did this come from? I mean, I don't know what this is, but for some reason I am drawn to it because I am pulsing in order to reflect my true identity, and myself. And so I'm here to talk about the future portals and the workshops that we have and share with you guys that my journey in cosmology has not been easy. Coming into it, I didn't get it. Honest to tell you the truth, I still feel like I don't. But there's a lot that I've come to realize and then actualize that I do get. And that is that I am it. Mm, mm. I am it. I am the future. I am the now. And in walking in that and being all about that, I see now clearly. We went through the past. The past was releasing. The past was letting go. We had the core chanting going on to seal and build the firm wall between where we are now and where we're headed to letting go, releasing, bringing to death the things that did not serve, like I did with my job, right? My last job, I let that thing go September 17th. I had no idea what was going to be happening in between then and now. However, where I am at peace. And I walk with this peace because I've had the information given to me by our very own Baba T. I call him Baba T, y'all, because he is my Baba. And as he continues to instruct, as he continues his repetition, and as he repeats, he continues to elevate, he continues to evolve. And in doing that, he pours into me or into us if you are here to actually receive it. Now, when I say actually receive it, I mean you're not just coming to class or you're not just coming to the session, just letting it go in one ear and out the other. You're literally absorbing the information that he is putting out, and you are using it to bring into fruition your purpose in life. So I'm like, man, we getting ready to get started in the future portals. And we did the workshop Saturday, and something just hit me. I was like, I need to watch Star Wars. Star Wars? Like, what am I yearning? Why am I bursting with fire and energy to want to sit and watch? Of all things, mind you, the last time I saw anything about a Star Wars, was I in my single digits? Well, I might have been in my early double digits, in my teens for sure, because I was sitting with my cousins, that much I know. And we watched, all Star Wars all the way up to, I think it was the last one, Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. That's all I knew. But then I said something to Baba, and I was like, Baba, I feel like watching Star Wars. He's like, what? Where'd that come from? I said, you tell me. It's because I am literally yearning and living and breathing my future and what that is to look like. and where I'm going to take it and where I am walking in it. I may not be able to see it in its totality right now, but I know I'm on the right track to make that happen. Okay. So I'm like, I got deep into all these meditations, and Baba know how to bring us in through some meditations, okay? But see, even with that level of instructions that he's brought me through, I too have begun to do my own level of meditations, okay? Some of you have experienced it on that level. At the same time, it's what I do in my own time that really takes me higher, right? So I'm like, Star Wars? As I continue to meditate on the whys, and I began to watch it when let me put it back. I started watching the first one, what I thought was the first one that was created in 1977, but I was interrupted, right? And I shared with Baba what I was doing. He says, have you seen the actual first one, right? So he gave me the order of them, right? Phantom of the Menace, and then Attack of the Clones, I think it was, and then the Return of the Return of the one I just finished watching. The Attack of the Return of the
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, okay. See, it wasn't even about the titles as much as it was about what was going on in the movies, y'all. So when you literally take yourselves and what we have obtained through the lessons that are being taught to us, okay, and go back into that space, okay, this is like 3, 10, 20, 100 million decades. No, I'm a bit exaggerating, but you know what I mean. Back in the 70s and stuff, that this information that was created in the 70s when I was 6 years old, right? And to see where we are now using our whole mind as a perceiver of the information that is being dished out to us. And this now, we are literally creating it without even being back then, okay? We don't have to be back then in order to be the now. You understand what I'm saying? Am I saying that right? Are y'all getting what I'm saying? Okay. When we meditate on the truth, on the word, on the wholeness of us, and we walk into our true galactic or cosmic beings, those movies, as I've watched, and I'm now on the fourth one, I believe. I'm glued to the screen. Well, not right now because I'm here with y'all. But if I wasn't here with y'all, I would be in there watching the movie, right? But in that, I see all the correlations of everything that we're studying, everything about law of time, everything about the Holocaust receiver, everything about being immortal, everything about how the mind is able to speak and not even be present in the physical, but we are able to see, hear, and know all things that's going on around us. It's not a facade. It ain't nothing fake. So if you're coming up in here in these sessions just to hear with your ears, but not be about the business that you are, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I'm here to tell you, no, you're in the right place at the right time, because this is your awakening. This is the seed that is being planted. This is the star that is shining upon you to get you to open your eyes and see the light. OMA, hey, when you go into meditation, listen to the spirit that dwells within and know the truth that you are. May the force be with you. I yield the mic. I love it.
All right, all right.
I love everything that you are, Baba. I love everything that you're doing here. And I may not understand it in its totality, but what I have received of it to help me be where I am, and I don't have to panic. I don't have to freeze up. I don't have to clam up. I don't have to go into a closet or go somewhere alone. I have you. I have Chester. I have Nikita. I have Ambrosia. I have all y'all connections and kin energies to be able to reach out to telepathically and know that you're right here in my heart, speaking to me to keep me standing, to keep me rising, elevating, evolving in Lakesh Alakim. Okay, I think I'm done now, for real. Yield my mic. Love you. Peace.
All right. I love you too. Peace. I tell you, isn't she a ball of fire? Um, and just reflecting on that conversation, a lot of what they talk about in Star Wars, we talk about the science behind it and practice some of those things in our telepathic remembrance group. And so now that we're in the future portals of infinite memory, and those of you that may be new to this conversation, we'll get you up to speed. I know it sounds out there, but it's really real. And for us to experience this, it just blows my mind. Because I tell you, 9 years ago, if you would have told me I'd be talking about this, I would have laughed in your face. I was a business person, show me the money. But as I began to seek to grow and evolve and to go into these different aspects of my mind, it just became mind-boggling, and things started happening that I couldn't explain. I just could not explain any better. So definitely thank you, Priestess Habibullah Ken 178. I know it won't be the last time we're going to hear from you. And we're talking about our telepathic meditation series. This is part 2. We did a little blurb last evening, and we're going to do another one tomorrow. So we'll have some other testimonies tomorrow as we go through this telepathic series about precognition. And we have an exercise each day. And some of you may be inspired to join us. It's really early in the dawning, but that's the perfect time to make the right impressions on your mind and effectuate the kind of change that's permanent, that's going to help you evolve, versus that's temporary, that's going to help you digress. All right, we got one more testimony, then we're going to wrap up here. And this next individual I've known for quite some time. She knew me in my business days, but more importantly, she just, really, 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 just on her knowing me and the reputation I had in business, she said, I don't know about this, but some of it sounds really good. Some of it's hard to follow, but I know the individual. So I'm gonna just kind of trust the process. And I'm glad she did, because I've just seen a major transformation in a very short period of time from this individual. She's very powerful as just a being. She has so much compassion. She's so loving to her mother, as she is caretaker for her mother, and her mother is a revolutionary. She's amazing. And just to be able to watch how she does stuff and interacts with her grandchildren, and how she talks about her children and what she does to provide healing for people is flat out amazing. So help me bring to the forefront none other than Lisa, kid number 165, all the way out of Atlanta, Georgia area. Hey, Lisa.
Hey,
How
hey,
are you?
am I cut off here? My head is cut off a little.
Your shoulder cut off a little bit, but it's good. We can see you.
Okay, okay.
I yield the mic.
Thank you, thank you. Always an honor, always an honor, a pleasure to be called upon to uplift and represent in my humble way the synchronistic human school of enlightenment. And Neb Teharka, the founder, chancellor, and as he stated, I've known him for years, and he's always been there, just always been supportive. Introduced me to this years ago, but I didn't quite know what it was, and he was still, getting things together for us, and but when he came back, I want to say last year, around the middle of last year, and re-invited me, and at that point everything was just in place, for the most part. Everything was just, he had the courses down, and um he wanted to bring me in. And as all of us, he wants this for all of us. And you know, mm, as a procrastinator, right? I looked at it. I said, okay, I know Neb Teharka, and so I went on his word, you know, because I know his integrity. So I said, okay, I'll take a look at it. I don't know what it is, but I will definitely take a look at it because he was so emphatic as he should have been, because it's life changing. And so I would say, I would say to anyone who is a procrastinator, like myself, I've had a problem with that for years. Do not procrastinate on this. Um, there are a lot of things that, there are a lot of times that we have so much on our plate. We've got so much to do. I mean, it's overwhelming, especially now with the climate, the way things are now. And we're just like, man, I can't, I can't do anything more. But guess what? There are a lot of things that you do, that we do, that are not essential, but we make time and we make space for them because it's what we want. You know how we are. We get our hair done, right? We get our nails done. We do what we like to do to make ourselves feel good for immediate gratification. And it's good. We have to feel good, right? But it doesn't last. It doesn't last. We got to keep going back. We got to keep going back. This right here, what you have here will last. Don't be afraid of the terminology. Don't be afraid of the verbiage. It will come. Immerse yourself in it. Just trust the process. Just trust it. Sit with it, even just 5 or 10 minutes a day. And I promise you, as you begin to do that, you begin to grow inside. You begin to grow spiritually. You're cultivating that piece of you, the piece of us that has lied dormant. It has lied dormant. And as we do it, just do it. I can't impress upon you enough. One day at a time, just like you do anything, one day at a time. And next thing you know, your life is changing. It's just things start to shift. They just move in a way that they would not have moved before. Because when we're not accessing this part of our being, this is the divine God inside of us. And when we don't cultivate that, we think we're winning. Oh, I'm just going to handle this first. I got to deal. Let me just deal with that first because, I got to get my back. We think we're winning, but that's an illusion. And so, what I love about the classes and the workshops is that it peels back all the layers. It peels back the illusions, and it reveals the authentic nature that we are inside. And when we go through this process, we are supported. We are 100% supported by the source of all creation. We are supported by the universe. We are expressions of God. We are expressions of the universe. And when we cultivate that within us, we are supported. That's how it works. So I welcome you. If you're thinking about it, I'm gonna take it on faith that you're coming through, and we all welcome you. And I get excited because I've met during our workshops, or we have in-person workshops. It's essentially online, but we meet in person and we have a blast. We have such a wonderful time together, just truly loving, authentic support, guidance, and love that we have for each other. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, it has brought tears to my eyes just thinking about it. So I know that I could go on and on, But I'll just say you won't regret it. If you do it, you won't regret it. If you put your heart and your mind and your spirit, your soul into it, you won't regret it. And know that this is not a religion. It is not a religion. We honor the source of creation. We are divine. We are spirit. And we are, I'll say this last thing because I don't want to be too long. We are spirit. We are not our skin color. We are not our hair texture. We are not the location that we were born in on this earth. We are not our culture. We are pure spirit. And to really know that, we just happen to be different colors. We just happen to, because you know what? That's what nature is. It's full of variety. It's full of beauty. And when that the idea that one race is better than another, that's all an illusion, and it's a distraction to keep us from realizing our true essence. Don't fall for it. Okay? I love you so much, and thank you for listening. I hope that this has helped. Thank you, Neb, and thank you all my kin. I love you all.
All right, we love you back. Ken 165. Thank you so much for that heartfelt share. And man, did she really has had some serious advancements just over the past couple of months, or moons we call it. And there's so much more to come. So I can't wait. It definitely won't be the last time that you'll hear from Ken 165, Lisa. Uh, and so I just take great delight, whatever uh, edification she has for me, I have the same for her. All right, very powerful individual, and all of the individuals who were able to share their testimony. So, what we're talking about as we're closing out, I'm going to bring Priestess Habibullah back before we close out. But we're talking about our telepathic meditation series, and I wanted to talk about this, to our Instagram family, to YouTube, and just to the public about, we have crossed the threshold. We have actually shifted from this information age to the telepathic age. And the science that we follow, the law of time and the hollow mind perceiver, shows us distinctly and numerically how this is taking place and what that means, that when we're shifting, moving from information age, we're moving from a digital age concept, which some of us still are going to stay with that and be, half machine, half being, half human. And then there's some of us is going to turn into this synchronistic human, where we're going to go deeper into our minds. And so I say this to all that are listening. I want you to really listen closely to me. Scientists say that we have over 100 million years of memory stored in our cerebellum, stored in our brain. And this is what scientists say. And because of artificial technology or artificial intelligence, we're so distracted with that we're only using about 100 to 200 years on average, okay, of 100 million years of memory. We're not using a millionth of our potential. This is what has driven me to do this, because I said, what if we can do 2 millions or 10 millions or 20 millions? We would be light years ahead of where we are, but that pales in comparison to where we can go. So we started this telepathic series to tap into our memory, our cosmic memory, to access these greater states of consciousness so we can realize and actualize this for ourselves. And so we're just on day 3. We started on Saturday with a workshop, Sunday with another workshop, and this dawning at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we did a meditation, and it was phenomenal. We talked about precognition, being able to not only predict the future, but we can predict it because we can create it. All right, so I'm going to just close out with a couple of announcements after Priestess Habibullah comes up and shares what she wants to share about the meditations, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up from there. All right, I yield the mic and I bring back up Priestess Habibullah, kin number 178.
Give thanks, and y'all please forgive me for getting so excited earlier. That's what happens when you speak about truth. You get excited, and sometimes you have to tone it down. So I went back and I was reading some of the comments and how y'all were saying my voice was in and out or something. But just know that was the high coming through. And if you'd have just went into meditation mode, that's what I want to say now is throughout going through the TRG, the telepathic remembrance group, being there from the beginning to the now, going through the emotional intelligence and learning how not to allow our emotions to get caught up, in our truths, and then being able to see or being able to focus, and then having the what I call meditation is when you sit in silence and listen. Okay, when we quote unquote pray, we're making our requests known out loud, right? But how can you hear if you're speaking? So then you meditate to receive the information, the downloads. And this is something I've had the opportunity to witness and learn through the instructions of Baba T, the importance of being still and knowing that I am. And when I am in that mode, I hear clearly, I see clearly, I feel clearly, I know clearly, So these meditations that he's bringing us through, okay, they're only for our whole being, our wholeness, our whole mind, our hollow mind, in order to walk in and to evolve. So when we do this the times are essential too. The time that you decide to set aside and allow these meditations to rise within, and then you go about your plasma, or your day with the introspection of the meditation, walking with you with the energy from the kin of that plasma quote day. We have the ability to exhale or exhale, because in the meditations we focus on our breath work, right? Our breath work is what's giving us the new life, is allowing our molecular compositions within our wholeness to move, our neurons and protons and all those things that give us life to regenerate and to express and to release and to receive newness. So as we walk throughout our plasmas, we walk in newness, and starting at 441 or 4:30 if checking in on time. But at 441, when the information begins to get put in you, and on Saturdays and Sundays, those of you who follow the Gregorian calendar, it's like 10:30 in the a.m. Either way, whether you waking up at 4:41, 3:30, 2 o'clock, 7, it don't matter. Get your meditations in, listen to the replays, read, absorb, breathe, release, and rise. Baba's taking us there, y'all. So come on, get with it. Don't hesitate. Don't vacillate. Don't procrastinate. Be about it. And join in, y'all. Get off the mics. Join in. Peace. I hope I clarified that, but every opportunity y'all get, yeah, definitely dive deep and don't be afraid because it's only working out for your good.
All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And in closing out, those of you that are listening, um, you can uh, join us if you like. Really, all it takes for you to do is of to be a member of our I Am membership, and you can get access to the sessions. Definitely December 2nd, which was today. You might have missed that one, but the 3rd through the 6th you can get on. Next Monday on the 9th, we're going to have another one, and you also get access to a whole lot more than just the live meditation. So we'll be getting together at 4:30. We dial in at 4:30 in the dawning, and at 441, those are the 441 codes of remembrance of the hollow mind perceiver and synchronotron, the synchronic order that we follow to access the whole mind. And we do a geometrical focus for 7 minutes. Then we do the prayer of the 7 galactic directions. And then we bring the energy into vibrational alignment, and we go right into the meditation for precognition to help it increase the faculties of our minds to be able to access the energy and the consciousness to create the future and predict it. All right. So it's very, very, very powerful. And so each day, or we also call day plasmas, we have a new focus, right? Tomorrow we're going to have a new focus. It's going to be on healing. All right. It's going to be on healing some areas for ourselves and other people. And we're going to be projecting that into a date in the future. It's going to be very powerful. So if you're listening to this and you want to be a part, definitely message me. You can reach me at Neb_Teharka on IG, YouTube. Also, same thing in Clubhouse and TikTok. And I'll be happy to get you the information you need to register. And join us on the meditation. I'm very convinced if you have telepathic and extrasensory abilities, it's going to help strengthen those faculties to be more intentional with that versus random. And you will tap into this oceanic consciousness that allows you to evolve in ways we may have never been able to without this type of knowledge. Okay? So I want to thank everyone for their contributions and testimonials, and all of you who have taken time out of your busy schedule to listen. Definitely reach out to us, join us in the dawning. You need to get with us tonight, though, so that we know you're registered if you want to join us in the dawning, so we can make sure you get the pertinent information so that you can access the session that we're going to be in. Okay? So with that being said, we have run completely out of time. Give thanks to all the testimonials. And so I always end by saying, in Lakesh, I'm another you. Alakim, you are another me. Hotep, Hetipu, and Namaste. And remember, and don't ever forget, evolution is the solution. Peace. This is going to conclude our session.
The sun and all the joy that we had, 'cause in our hearts we were one. The point was focused on us, and we enjoyed this dream. In and out at our will, saturated auspiciously. Star people come down, we are preparing with you again. people come down. We are preparing to be with you again. We've been missing the point of who we are and why we came. And as this reality deceives us, we get caught and lose our aim. We get in the way of ourselves, and we dismiss the call. We get in the way of ourselves, and we make it so hard. Star people come down. We are preparing to be with you again. Star people come down. We are preparing to be with you again. So as we sit around and contemplate with the thoughts of the way it could be, and as we swing back and forth, one day we will awake from this dream and see that you are here as you have always been, guiding from a buried cemetery. And as promised through our evolution, one day we'll be free. People come down, we are preparing to be with you again. Star people come down, we are preparing to be with you again. Star people come down, we are preparing to be with you again. Star people come down, we are preparing to be with you again.